welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with an everyday just natural makeup look, that kind of no makeup that you can wear to the grocery store or to your 8 a.m. college class or just to pretty much any occasion. It's super wearable and I think it'll look great on everybody. If you can't tell my sarcasm, then you clearly don't know me. Look I put together because I was super inspired by Instagram makeup and like the cut crease, and lately there's been a trend going around with the whole invisible liner look, so I decided to put my twist on it and give it a try. It's kind of just like a floating liner look. So I mean, I had so much fun trying to mimic and just kind of put my own twist on it. This look is definitely out of my comfort zone. I normally like everything to be very blended, and I do like dramatic makeup, but I just like for it to be very soft, nothing too harsh. So when I decided to try this, it was definitely out of my comfort zone, but I do really like the, you know, artisticness of it all, and I do love the way it turned out. Very fun, very different. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I achieved this look and you want to see how to achieve that kind of invisible liner look, then definitely please keep watching. If you guys do happen to enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Let me know what other looks you guys want to see next, if you want to see me recreate any other kind of Instagram trends that are out there. And don't forget to follow me on my social handles. I love you guys so much, and without further ado, let's jump into this makeup tutorial. So I started off this look with already prepped skin, so now I'm just prepping my eyelid using my NYX. It's the HD concealer and it is in like the lightest shade. I use this because since this is like the lightest concealer I owned, it would help all the shadows show up truer to color. So I put that all over my lid, and then I set that using any transparent powder of your choice. This is just going to help the eyeshadows blend smoother and really give you a nice clean base. I then took a piece of tape and put that, I tried to put it kind of starting at the last third of my eyelid. So normally I'd put this at the very edge, but I'm actually having this start on my eyelid. Took a couple tries, but I finally got it. And then I'm taking the shade Chickadee by Makeup Geek, and starting where the angle of that tape is, I'm just putting that all throughout my crease and then angling it up very lightly, slowly building up this color, because I just want this to be the very faint like end shade that you barely see peeking through the other shades. So I'm just very softly building this color up. Then I'm taking the shade Brick by Morphe, which is honestly almost identical to Red Brick. And I took my MAC 219, a more smaller blending brush, and I'm just putting this starting at the edge of that tape and then slowly letting it fade in. I did have to readjust the tape. This was probably the hardest part because I needed it to be even with my other eye. But I finally got it right, and then I just had to kind of realign my eyeshadows along the edge of that tape. So doing the same thing, putting that brick color and then just bringing that into the inner corner. And I'm very slowly building it and going to be going back and forth with all of these shades. So now I'm taking some more of the Chickadee color and lightly putting that above the brick color so that it's still peeking through. And I'm just very softly adding that color there, and again, always angling the shadows up at an angle against the tape. Then I'm taking the shade Rosewood by Morphe. It's a gorgeous like fuchsia purple color. And I'm taking this BH Cosmetics pencil brush. I love this brush because it's super tiny compared to most pencil brushes. And I'm basically outlining my crease. Again, doing the same thing. I'm angling it up onto the tape, and then I'm bringing that all the way into my inner corner and dragging it down, kind of following my tear duct. I'm then taking some more of the brick color and tapping off a bunch of the excess. As you can see, I'm still tapping, and I'm also wiping off some of the brick color off on my hand. And then with the smallest amount, I'm just kind of buffing out the purple edge that I just placed there. Just doing very short circular motions so that everything just kind of blends into each other. So with this look, you will have to go back and forth. As you see, I'm going back in with the big fluffy brush with no extra product, and I'm just softening up the edges. Then I'm taking the shade Motown by Morphe. It's like a gorgeous indigo purpley blue shade. I'm taking my MAC 266 angled brush, and I'm again kind of angling it up on the tape as if I were doing like a wing, and then I'm just doing short, swift motions across my crease, just sort of cutting it out and just being very careful with this. But you don't have to be too careful because I will be cleaning up the crease with some concealer, but you do still want to try to get it as tight as possible. And then I'm just blending out the edges with that same pencil brush, and then you'll see me going back to the angled brush, perfecting that edge. And again, with this look, you definitely have to go back and forth quite a few times to make sure that it's perfectly even and blended. I'm then taking some concealer on a concealer brush, getting concealer on both edges, that way it's nice and like pointed. And then I'm slowly just cutting out that crease, carving that out. You do want to be very careful and just do kind of short, swift motions. It took me a while to really smooth out that crease, but I only showed you part of the clip, so you definitely want to be patient with this part. And then I'm taking this gorgeous Inglot Loose pigment, and it is in the shade 82. It is like a gold with purple sparkles in it. I'm going to be packing on my Too Faced glitter glue all over my lid with the same synthetic brush. That way the pigment has something to really cling to and it'll show up nice and intense. And again, you just want to be very precise. And then I'm taking my MAC 242 with the pigment, and I'm just really dabbing and then swiping that pigment into place. I end up doing about 2 layers of this pigment, that way it's nice and sparkly. But as you can see, this is such a gorgeous eyeshadow shade. It's duochrome and just goes perfect with the shades in the crease. And then I'm going to take that same Motown Deep Purple, and I'm going to angle from my lid onto the tape up and just kind of blending that into my upper crease shades. It's kind of hard to explain, but you guys get the idea by watching. And then I'm just recutting out my crease with that same deep purple, just in case any of it got messed up with the pigment. Then I'm taking the shade Gleam by MAC, and I'm going to use this as my inner corner highlight with that small pencil brush, just really highlighting that tear duct so that it's nice and bright. I'm then removing the tape, and as you can see, you have this nice crisp line. I did have to clean up a little bit of the edge with concealer, but you might not even have to do that. I'm then cutting that same piece of tape in a very small piece, and I'm putting it right where I left off with the eyeshadow to help be my guideline from my lower lash line. So I'm now on the back end of that tape. I'm doing that same Motown shade, and I'm connecting it from the tape to my lower lash line, and this is going to help give that floated crease effect. I'm taking that same pencil brush, and I'm taking the shade Rosewood, and I'm blending that under the Motown shade and then bringing that down onto my lower lash line. Like I said, it's really hard to kind of describe what I'm doing, but when you watch, you can get the idea, and you'll see me going back and forth with a lot of the shades. I'm then removing the tape now that I have, the original edge done, and now I'm just going to work on my lower lash line mainly. So I'm going to smoke it out some more with a little bit more of that Rosewood shade, and then I'm taking the shade Brick, and you can see I still have all the swipes left on my hand. But basically, I'm just taking the shade Brick and then just very softly smoking it out a little bit further. That way you can really see, the red peeking through. And then I'm just going back and forth on my lower lash line with some more of the deep, deep purple shade. Then taking my MAC 210, a very tiny, it's a wing liner brush. I'm dipping it in the pigment, spraying it with Fix Plus, and then I'm going to use that to highlight that inner third of the eye. And you see me just stamping it in place with this perfectly sized brush to get just where I want it to be. I'm taking the same brush that I used to apply my concealer base on my lid, and I'm using that to clean up under my brow. And then I'm going to highlight using the shade Shroom and this tiny Real Techniques brush. And then I'm also going to use some more of that Shroom shade to further highlight that tear duct. For foundation, this is my favorite combo. I'm using the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Coverage in 44 Golden Beige and my Lancome Top Miracle in 360 Bisque. The Marc Jacob one is super matte and very full coverage, and the Lancome Top Miracle is very sheer and it's very radiant, so it's like a perfect combination when you mix them. I'm blending that all into my skin using my MAC 170. This is like my holy grail foundation and concealer brush. It just blends everything out like a dream. And then I'm going to be highlighting using my NARS Radiant Cream Concealer. I switch up my concealer all the time, but this is the one I happen to use in this video. So I'm just highlighting under my eyes. I'm going to bring it down the sides of my nose, down the bridge of my nose, down my chin and my forehead. I wanted a very crisp highlighted look because, you know, that's how it is on Instagram. Everything's very, you know, of an intense highlight under the eyes, and I just feel like it helps draw more attention to the eyes. I'm then taking that same small dual fiber brush that I used to put the concealer on my lid, and I'm very carefully just cleaning up that lower lash line. And then I'm buffing out the rest of the edges using my MAC 170. Then I'm going to be contouring using my Wet n Wild contour stick. So I'm just doing a slight cream contour base along my jawline, my forehead, my cheeks. And then I'm buffing that out using the same foundation brush because the extra foundation left on it will help kind of blend out the contour so that it's nice and seamless. And then I'm also going to be chiseling out my nose with my Small Real Techniques brush and some of the contour. I'm softening everything up with my finger first. And then you'll see me go back in with that same dual fiber brush that has some leftover concealer and just buffing out the edges. To set the under eyes, I'm using the one and only Airspun powder that I use in almost every single video. And I'm just packing this under my eye area, doing more of an intense highlight. And then I'm also going to use this to clean up that lower lash line. I'm going to bring this down the bridge of my nose, the chin, and the forehead. And then to set the perimeter of my face, I'm using my Studio Care Blend Powder by MAC in medium dark. It's a little bit deeper than my coloring right now, but it kind of works out good because it also helps add some like bronziness to the skin. And I'm taking my MAC 150 and just lightly sweeping this on the outer edges of my face where I did not highlight. To contour, I'm using my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and I'm just kind of setting the areas that I put the cream contour on. And then I'm just setting the nose contour using this small ColourPop eyeshadow brush. That's like one of my favorite nose contour brushes. For blush, I'm using Love Affair by Makeup Geek. I haven't used this blush in forever, and this was like one of my all-time favorites. It's just such a gorgeous, like true pink. For highlight, I'm using this gorgeous highlight, guys. You need it. It's by Inglot, and it's for the face and body, and it is in the shade 02. It's just the most gorgeous golden highlight, and it's just super intense and beautiful. You can use it, you know, as intense as you want it, or you can use a very small amount, and I'm just obsessed. This is like one of my holy grails now. I went ahead and filled in my brows and popped on my Salon Perfect 615 lashes on off camera. And once I had those on, I went ahead and defined my lips using my Jordana lip pencil in the shade Berry in Love. So I basically lined my lips and then I just filled in the outer corners to give it some more depth and dimension to my lips. In the center, I popped on my Lancome lipstick in Haute Nude. It has kind of like a metallic-y finish to it, a little bit of a frost. And then to just further highlight the center of my lips, I took the Anastasia lip gloss in Dainty and just put that in the center and kind of like that inner rim of my lips to just give it some more dimension. And there you have it, loves. This is a completed look. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Let me know what you guys want to see next, and I will see you guys next time. Love you. Bye.